Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Asif Ghani. I'm going to speak about wireless health and today's patient. Wireless health, the use of wireless technologies for personal health management and healthcare delivery includes continuous access to healthcare information, expert advice, or therapeutic intervention enabled by telecommunication networks. Example applications include real-time monitoring systems, medication compliance, and imaging. Continuous care for chronic disease and other conditions, a vast improvement from our current system of episodic and expensive 10-minute visit every few weeks or months to the doctor's office. Wireless health solutions help patients stay healthy and engaged in the management of their own healthcare while lowering healthcare costs by keeping out of hospitals and expensive facilities unless absolutely necessary. What are the advantages of wireless health? Patient segregation. Somebody was saying that you have to go and stand in the queue for such a long time and you're not able to get through 3 hours, 3.5 hours waiting time. So this is the most important thing, first interface between the patient and the doctor. Many times what happens is most of our patients are from the rural areas and patients tend to carry some 5,000-10,000 odd in their pockets and they meet the general practitioner. The general practitioner in turn advises them certain investigations. For a low backache, he would advise them for an MRI directly, where the patient exhausts the entire money and he is not able to get through to the specialist also. So this first interface between the patient and the doctor is very important. Select the right procedure for the right patient at the right time in the most appropriate location. I think that is the basic idea of wireless health. Move to a stage where we can avoid bringing the patient into the hospital if at all that is possible. The economic considerations have to be taken into account and we have to decide on the hospital whether the patient needs primary care, secondary care, tertiary care hospital or a surgery center. Decision on whether the patient deserves urgent management or can wait for some time. Then many patients want to go for a second or third opinion. I think that can be done. Comorbid conditions, if the patient is diabetic, hypertensive, has cardiac problems, patients can be referred to tertiary hospitals. Follow-up, reminders, do's and don'ts for the patients. What are the expectations of today's patients from the hospital? Sorry, I am a doctor, so I will dwell upon the patients more. The hospital should be easily accessible, should have good coordination, efficiency, information, shared decision making, compassion, high level of service, empathy, easy admission and discharge process. They should have state-of-the-art technology, they should have proper accreditation and international affiliations if any. The hospital should have some commitment as in continuous improvement efforts. The paraclinical and the non-clinical experience around the clinical reputation also is extremely important for the patient in deciding which hospital to choose. Hospital staff should be polite, helpful and courteous. See, a nurse is there with the patient for 23 hours and 50 minutes, whereas the consultant is there with the patient for 10 minutes. So the nurse becomes the brand ambassador for the doctor and the hospital. So the hospital staff needs to be polite and helpful. The doctors should be skilled, experienced, best medical and surgical outcomes are expected, and they should be abreast with advances in technology. When we think about advances in technology, I think the order of the day is minimal access surgery or non-invasive therapy. Non-invasive therapy is where there is no break in the skin and there is no contact with the mucosa of the skin. Nonetheless, penetrate the body by electromagnetic or particle radiation. Examples are radiation therapy, as we use in cancer, lithotripsy, defibrillation for ventricular tachycardia, etc. Therapeutic ultrasound, like you have HIFU, high intensity focused ultrasound. You have extracorporeal shock wave therapy, ESWL, for different matters. Minimal access surgery is also called as minimally invasive surgery, keyhole surgery and pinhole surgery. Minimal access surgery is performed either through natural orifices in the body or tiny incisions. It could be one where you call it single incision laparoscopy surgery, or you have multiple, that is 3. Surgeon inserts a camera and narrow instruments into the working ports through these tiny incisions. The development of fiber optic light sources, miniature video cameras and specially designed cutting, grasping, stapling tools allow increasingly complex surgery to be performed with ease, with the surgeon being guided by high resolution magnified video images. Mass is being very commonly performed in general surgery, gynecology, urology, arthroscopy, neurology, oral maxillofacial surgery, ENT, plastic surgery, CVTS and gastroenterology. About some surgery centers, now minimal access surgery is being performed at specialized surgery centers with a focus on single or multiple surgical specialties. When I say surgery centers, it does not necessarily mean daycare centers or ambulatory surgery centers. This can be extended stay also. Overall experience of surgery center is different from that of an acute care hospital. Expense is less burdensome to the patient and the setting itself is generally more comfortable. More control over turnover times and scheduling since no emergency cases, thus patients have shorter wait times. Price sensitive patients get value for money and surgical centers are naturally built to offer the above efficiencies because of the small space, non-emergent procedures and staff expertise on a limited array of cases. Something about minimal access surgery and open surgery. Minimal access surgery, the hospital stay is of course shorter. Post-operative tissue healing takes 1 week approximately in minimal access surgery, whereas in open surgery, because there's more of tissue handling, it takes 5 to 6, 7 weeks for healing. Pain and discomfort is slightly lesser in minimal access surgery because less of tissue damage, and it is more in open surgeries. The scars are small or negligible, and post-operative infections are much lesser in minimal access surgery. That's it. Thank you very much.